1965, when 16-year-old Sylvia Likens was tortured to death by members of the Baniszewski family, with whom the child was staying while her parents worked with a traveling carnival. The following is an excerpt from a 1965 newscast in which Bob Hoover spoke with Richard Hobb, who explained what he did to the girl.
All I did was write out that thing on her stomach, and I hit her about 10 or 15 times.
But how come?
Well, mostly because Gertie told me to.
Hoover then spoke to one of the Baniszewski children, who told him how the victim was treated.
She refused food. We tried to give her soup every once in a while and stuff like that, and she wouldn't take it.
Well, how about these scratch marks on her stomach? Who put them on her?
I did.
Why?
Well, Gertie just thought of it. She said, since you branded us, we're going to brand you. So she itched in with a pin, and I went over it. She showed me how to do it, and then I went over it. I did it.
Did you ever use any hot irons on her?
No. Yeah, that 3 on her stomach, I did half of that, and Shirley Ann did the other half.
Where'd the S come from?
What do you mean?
There's a big S branded on her stomach, right below one of her breasts.
That's what I'm talking about.
Well, that's what you're talking about. Well, how about the inscription on there, I'm a prostitute and proud of it? Who put that on there?
I did.
Did you scratch it on there, paint it on there? How'd you do it?
Well, like I said before, Gertie wrote it down there with a pen, and I did the rest. She showed me how to do it. And
had Gertie abused this girl?
Yeah.
This is a very famous house for unfortunate reasons, and before it was demolished in 2009, it stood at 3850 East New York Street in Indianapolis for over 40 years, and allegedly it was haunted. Here's the story. They said that the spirit that lingered in the house was 16-year-old Sylvia Likens. You probably have already heard this story. In 1965, Sylvia and her younger sister Jenny were sent away to live with a family friend. They were sent to live with this woman, Gertrude Baniszewski, while their parents worked on the carnival circuit. And Gertrude promised their parents that she would take care of them as if they were her own kids, and she didn't. And as a matter of fact, she treated them worse. Sylvia was beaten, starved, berated, and locked in this basement. Neighborhood kids were also invited to watch, and some paid a nickel to take part in the abuse. Her final injuries were burns, bruises, and this message carved into her stomach. Yeah. When police finally discovered Sylvia's body, they said that it was the worst crime ever committed in Indiana. And what many don't know is that the haunting started immediately after this. This story was so horrific that in 2007 it was turned into a movie called An American Crime, and it was based solely on court transcripts and witness testimony. The perpetrators of this story were found guilty, but did Sylvia get her justice? Her spirit doesn't think so. Stay tuned for part 2 for actual ghost footage.
Gertrude Baniszewski, however, had a different story.
I did never beat that girl. Never. She was beat up on by other girls. In fact, my own daughter stopped her in the jaw and broke her wrist. And so, I mean, there you go. And girls around the neighborhood beat her up, bloodied her nose. One girl broke her nose, in fact, I think.
Were you ever in contact with the police on any of these occasions?
Well, in the last 2 weeks, in fact, I think if you talk to my daughters, I'd ask them that the children's father and I are divorced, and he's a policeman in Leech Grove, or was. And I've asked the girls repeatedly to call their dad and ask him what to do. And in fact, I asked Jenny, I said, Jenny, and I told Sylvia, I said, Sylvia, I'm going to have to call the police or somebody because I can't have the responsibility.
But the police were called only one time.
Part 2 of the haunting of Sylvia Likens. Okay, so let's recap. October 26, 1965, 16-year-old Sylvia Likens died after being held captive for nearly 3 months in the basement of an Indianapolis home. After her body was discovered, neighbors reported to police that sometimes they heard screams and someone asking for help, but in 1965, no one really felt compelled to go to the police. Sylvia and her younger sister Jenny were left in the care of this woman, Gertrude Beniszewski, for 3 months. And when it comes down to it, Gertrude Beniszewski was basically jealous of Sylvia, plus the fact that Sylvia's parents were late on paying Gertrude for watching Sylvia and her sister. This house is where the abuse took place, and the following is a video captured in 2007 that allegedly shows paranormal activity and voices caught on camera. Take a look.
This is a freaky ass house.
Did you see it? When the video is slowed down, you can see that it looks like the curtains on the far left window are pushed back, as if someone is taking a look outside. But the house is supposed to be empty. As they walk around the outside of the home, their camera catches another strange anomaly.
What was the basement like? Where
Viewers say that it looks almost as if some misty white shape is peeking from the window and then rapidly ducks back inside. But this is when things get truly bizarre. The guys check out the basement where Sylvia Likens was imprisoned for much of her time in the house.
This is the basement where the little girl was tortured. Dude, come here. This is freaky. As you can see, this is what the basement looks like. That's
Oh, hell no, this is serious too.
Dude, I fuck. There's a picture of the stairs. You gotta I swear to God.
As they walk away from the basement window, well, just listen closely and see what you hear.
I fuck. There's a picture of the stairs. You gotta
Now, some claim that they can actually hear screams for help coming from the basement. Here's the clip again with subtitles revealing what many viewers say they hear.
There's a picture of the stairs. You gotta
So I tried to boost the audio by isolating certain frequencies, but since all speakers and headphones reproduce sound so differently, this may sound better or possibly worse, according to your speakers.
There's a picture of the stairs.
So, does Sylvia Likens' ghost haunt this home? Or are viewers seeing and even hearing things that just aren't there? You decide.
Now, Gertie was actually sentenced to life in prison. She was paroled in 1985. She ended up changing her name, and 5 years later, she died of lung cancer. In June 2001, this memorial was formally dedicated to the memory of Sylvia Likens. Currently, the vacant lot of this house is just a parking lot for a church. But even to this day, people still report paranormal activity, pockets of cold air, and even voices. So what do you think? Is this a real haunting, or is it something that can be explained? Remember to like, share, and follow for more stories that keep you up at night.